When you picture danger at sea, what comes to mind? You're probably thinking about giant waves, rogue storms, maybe even pirates. The stuff of movies. But today, one of the biggest threats to any modern ship is totally invisible. It doesn't pop up on radar, and it can strike in perfectly calm seas. See, you have to realize, a modern cargo ship isn't just a big piece of steel with an engine. It's more like a floating data center. Everything from its navigation and engine controls to cargo management and communications, it's all connected. It's a really complex digital ecosystem out there, sailing the world's oceans. And that leads us to the big question, right? What happens when that floating network gets hacked? The stakes here aren't just about losing some data. We're talking about the physical safety of the ship, its crew, its cargo, and yeah, even the environment. Okay, so to really get a handle on this risk, you need to understand that there are two digital worlds on board a ship. On one side, you have information technology, or IT. This is the stuff we're all pretty familiar with, emails, crew salaries, business data. But the real game changer and the source of the big risk is the operational technology, or OT. This is where the digital world physically controls the actual ship. And we're not talking about small-time systems here. We're talking about the absolute core of the vessel's operations. The bridge and navigation systems telling the ship where to go, the propulsion and machinery that make it move, even the systems that keep a massive ship balanced in the water. This is basically the ship's digital heart and its brain. And this is the part that is so critical to understand. A cyber attack in the OT world isn't just a computer glitch. It's an immediate, real-world safety crisis. Just imagine for a second, hackers spoofing a ship's GPS. The screen on the bridge looks perfectly normal, but the ship is slowly, silently being steered right towards a reef. The link between digital security and physical safety is direct, and frankly, it's terrifying. So with a threat this huge, how in the world does an entire global industry fight back? Well, the answer starts right here, with the International Maritime Organization, or the IMO. It's the United Nations agency that's responsible for setting the global standards for shipping safety and security. And its reach is just enormous. With 176 member states, its decisions carry a whole lot of weight in pretty much every port and shipping lane on the planet. And they have a long history of creating the rules of the road for the high seas. We're talking over 50 international conventions. So when this new invisible threat came along, the entire shipping world was looking to the IMO for answers. Which, brings up a really fascinating puzzle. How do you take a decision made in an office in London and actually make it happen on the bridge of a ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? The industry was bracing for a mountain of new, complex regulations. But the answer? It was brilliantly simple. Instead of creating a whole new rulebook from scratch, the IMO just said, look, companies have to deal with cyber risks inside their existing safety systems. They didn't build a new house, they just decided to reinforce the foundation that was already there. And that foundation is the International Safety Management Code, or ISM code. This is a system that every major commercial ship in the world already knows inside and out. It's the universal rulebook for running a ship safely, covering everything from emergency drills to engine maintenance. It was the absolute perfect tool for the job. By weaving cyber risk right into the ISM code, the IMO sent a really clear message. A ship's digital health is a part of its physical safety. They're one and the same. Suddenly, this wasn't just a problem for the tech guys down the hall. It was a core responsibility for the captain and every single person on that crew. And what this does is create this powerful, continuous cycle of security. It starts with identifying your most important systems and thinking about the threats. Then you protect them with both technology and procedures. If something does get through, you have to be able to detect it fast and respond with a plan you've already made. And finally, you have a strategy to recover and get back to normal. It's this constant loop of vigilance. But here's the thing, you can have the most advanced framework in the world, but it's got a common weak spot, and it isn't the technology. It's us, the people. A firewall can't stop somebody from accidentally plugging in an infected USB stick or clicking on a sneaky phishing email. So a huge part of this solution boils down to basic cyber hygiene for every single person on board. We're talking about simple stuff, using strong passwords, being really suspicious of weird emails, and having strict rules for any USBs. It's about knowing exactly who to call the second something seems wrong, and never, ever installing unapproved software.
When you get right down to it, a well-trained, security-aware crew becomes the ship's digital immune system. Yeah, technology is the armor, but it's the people who are the true guardians of the ship. They are both the first and the absolute last line of defense.
Which leaves us with one final, really important question for the future. We've just talked all about how critical the human element is for securing today's ships. But the whole industry is moving towards more automation, even fully autonomous ships. So how are we going to adapt all these principles to secure the unmanned seas of tomorrow? That's the next great challenge sailing over the horizon.